Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Namaskar. This is Engineer Suraj Singh speaking from Bharat, India on this day, February 12th, 2022, Saturday. This is 3:50 a.m. मैं सूरज सिंह सिविल इंजीनियर भारत से बोल रहा हूँ, भारत इंडिया से। आज दिनांक फरवरी 12, 2022, शनिवार सुबह के 3:50। Back to you about same topics, conference, talks, interactions through this live talk, title being Quality Works, Projects, Coordination, Communication, Concrete, Engineering, Reliable Engineers, Designs, Construction Methods, etc. etc. Self-explanatory title, and you may know me well, and if not, then this is my address board or my personal board. You can see that here. Email ID is civil. This is suraj_engineer@yahoo.co.uk. You are welcome to write to this mail for certain question or for certain clarification if you are interested. His phone number is also there, but please excuse me, just write mail for clear questions and clear answers. These titles are seen, you can see them. And there's another one that is Chartered Engineer, and there's another one that is Fellow of IEI, Institution of Engineers. These two, and this is certificate. There is coordination engineering file we have to talk about. What is that? How it is working, how it should work, and also quality and coordination combined. I am putting both files separately, but both are actually same because of contents and because of I started with this quality file, and now I am integrating it with coordination file for clear conception. And I am now closing CE file and also closing FI file so that we can continue on quality and coordination, which is basic necessity and requirement. We may say whatever we can say, but it's a big question about quality and coordination, because we have not taken very seriously so far education or consideration or skills related to quality and coordination. There are so much talk on skill development, but I have not seen in engineering perspective or in public perspective about requirements, deliberations requirements of quality and coordination. You can see that isolation treatment doesn't work in profession. We cannot just take 10 minutes, 15 minutes in some webinar or in some seminar and give some person, okay, take 10 minutes and talk about this. What do you mean by 10 minutes? You see, you have to educate people. You have to tell them every aspect of what you're talking. Public should know that. Public cannot understand just you pick up some point and discuss it. What's the meaning of, what's achievement of that? You see, we have to be in details. Studies or education, what you call it, this is practical education. I'm not talking academical education. This professional education should be given in some details. Or we cannot simply show by PowerPoint and see this is that. People can't understand anything. Yes, it's like title of news. I consider these webinars as titular discussions and not elaborative discussion. So I therefore tried my different way, and that's to be live with you for detailed information. Maybe you don't like that, or it may not be your domain. But I'm not giving any specific domain except general one, and that is construction activities related, which comes, everybody knows about construction, everybody knows about concrete, and I think everybody knows about civil engineering. But that is only know about. Now I'm talking about something else because everybody has some relation to concrete, to civil engineering, and without which you cannot in modern world live. Somewhere directly or indirectly, knowingly or unknowingly, you have to relate to yourself to civil engineering in life, and this applies to all over the world. That's why I treat these topics, quality, related to projects, and then coordination. And coordination means some basis, which is communication. And concrete, as I usually say, applies to verb as well as to noun. It applies to everything that is strong, solid, and it applies to engineering material, that is concrete itself. And engineering is not limited. It is so extensively used in this world that now life can be called engineering oriented. If engineering does not exist, we can't have any facility. And then because engineering is important and therefore engineers are to be considered at same level, and engineers should not be engineers alone, they should be reliable engineers. And reliability means they should be reliable in every case, competent, consistent, trustworthy, and role should be very significant. Acts conducted by engineers should be very, you can say, very important, because engineering means long term actions. Long term. We can't say today we take some action and result of that action goes non-existent tomorrow. It doesn't happen in engineering. You can consider whatever branch of engineering, you will find some product is delivered at end. It may start with design or research, it may go to processing, or it may go to whatever else. But ultimately, at end, we get one product, and that product is used for our life, and it's either consumed or it is used for further activities. And that's very important point. We do works, we do construction, we do manufacturing and processing, whatever organization does it. All I can say relate to engineering factually. And that is important point, because if we disturb engineering quality, if we do not care for quality essence, engineering is destroyed. And engineering is destroyed means life is destroyed, because life has relation to engineering at one point or other point, or you can say every point. It's therefore very important that we have to take into consideration all time quality and coordination. And this should start from our childhood itself, because that portion of life, that part of life, up to age of let us say 20 or 18 years is also very important, where we have to learn basics of every subject. School life, university life, personal life, work life, all are different, but what we learn in childhood or in student age, that is much powerful, because that is our root which makes our personality and future. And if that root is rotten, if that root is just based on without clear understanding, or we can say we just cram something, remembers or remember something and write in examination, it doesn't give any result because clear conception we do not earn. And that clear conception means engineering. If you have no clear conception, you cannot do engineering. That is also true. Or you can say engineering is it's like truth. Truth prevails. We say truth cannot be defied. It cannot be defied because it is truth, it's fact. It is truth like we have a body, everybody has a body. It's a truth that we live in this body. And if it's destroyed, then we cannot live. Same way, if we destroy engineering, if we don't have products, we cannot live life as we live today. And it applies to whole world, not only to ourselves. Important point that I want to focus on as routine is quality. Quality is first requirement, and because quality is a requirement, this means product is a requirement. Otherwise, why we talk quality? There's some requirement, there's some demand or necessity, which we call product, or we can say good in today's world. If good is good, see, here 2 points. One is good, and what is good? Good is, you can say, kind of item, and also you can say it is good, a kind of quality. So we can say, if we don't care for quality, this means we don't care for good. And if you don't care for good, means we have no capacity, we have no standard. And we call it standard because it stands. It stands where? It stands in its testimony. If we call, okay, standard means there is some definite fixed system for that on which this product has to be worked upon. Code or specification or whatever we can say, we decide for some product that makes its standard and it should comply with that. So quality has got some relation. It's a general word, quality, but it's not general. It's general as well as specific. We have to be sure that quality works as control and quality works as system, or quality works in total approach. But does it happen? That question you have to ask yourself. How much do you involve yourself with quality activities? Everybody say I work qualitatively, but ground reality is different. Ground reality is this, it doesn't matter, means you buy material from which source. You have to decide source, you have to decide material, and you have to decide what range of material in quality you have to buy. But does that work? Even after buying that good or material, do you find satisfaction that whatever you required or whatever you accepted in quality, does it work? That's the main point. Quality is always limited, it's not unlimited. Whatever we say, we shall give you this portion of quality. To an extent, this product works. If you want beyond, you have to accept another class of quality. So quality and coordination are very linked together because you have to coordinate first. Without coordination, we cannot decide anything. And coordination means it's not just writing or speaking or arguing. Quality means you have to know first what you have to do. And coordination means it's a medium of information provision. It's a medium how to chart out your system of quality. It's a medium how to link whatever information we have got for that system. And that information within itself must contain every sub-information. So information is used for purpose, of communication and its communication. And communication should be clear, not confusing or ambiguous. It should be having specific point, and that must be applicable in interest, or that must be applicable to that good or material which we talk about. So coordination is something which you can say it's a kind of internal movement. It's a kind of internal journey of whatever we consider. This coordination is sometimes automatic and sometimes it is worked upon. It depends upon what you are doing with, what information we have. It's information journey in a network of reactions and actions, and this journey happens everywhere. Some people understand it and some people don't understand it. Coordination is done at every level in all world activities. It's not simple engineering itself. Other life activities too require coordination, and who do not understand meaning of coordination, they just receive and throw it. That's it. Just like we get some news, we read news and okay, fine, I got this information, and after that we don't care about that. It was just an information. That's it. Nothing else. We did not think on that, what it was, should it be or it should not be, or we don't want to know where is error, or what I do understand by that news. Is that news giver reliable person, or does it relate to me or someone else? We have no say in that. But even then, quality and coordination cannot be defined with. Maybe we do not know what is that, but it is that. So my dear, we every day I say something about it, because it's very important for everyone. Now we have to be specifically talk of coordination engineering, because it is something deficient in profession. I can say in engineering education, communication and coordination amounts to problems. I have seen that communication conducted by engineers at whatever level, it doesn't matter which level you are, is deficient. And it's not very regular. I think that majority of engineers have no interest in that type of act. They want to do coordination, they want to apply it, but they fail because coordination is very difficult, you can say difficult medium or different requirement. You have specifications, you can read them, you have provisions, you can read them, and you also know that whatever item in engineering included in job, what does it say, how it has to work. But we know only that. Nobody wants to go in depth of that provision, that item, and how does it work, shall it affect other item. Some study, some don't study, all are not same, but generally only knowing item for engineers think it's okay, I have to apply it and that's it. And also in designs, those people do not go into conduct much in-depth studies of those provisions which are routine, or we say this was done in that work, this is done in this work. That's it. There are researchers also, there are scientists also, there are engineers also who conduct these studies, but it's rare. There's a fashion these days. You should be somewhere in news. It may be institutional news or maybe some other news. And if you are in news, you think you are better than others. It's like same thing means you got some prize, some award from nation or from some other, or you think I'm different. It happens. Or because some person writes award winning author. Well, I don't know, this is old style. Now award is not that important as work is. You got award, okay, fine. I'm not criticizing award, but I cannot measure, I cannot use award power, award wealth to relate to my achievement. Because it happens, somebody gets out of 100, maybe one person gets. It doesn't mean others are not awarded, they have their own awards. Thinking originally is very difficult. Thinking relatively is easy. Those who think originally, maybe they are not considered at first moment reliable people or advanced people. But when one crashes something, one comes out of some problem or finds some secret and explains it, then people start thinking or accepting something. Now both are coordinations. When I say thinking, thinking is a unit, thinking is a process. And in fact, thinking is something we cannot think of. But thinking continues every time, and sometimes even you do not know that you are thinking, but you think. It happens, and that is very important part in every life activity. Since your childhood, you have been thinking because you are a student, and your thinking capacity increases as much higher up you go in your education. Thinking at school level and thinking at university level are different. And thinking in professional world is entirely different. And it never decreases, it goes on increasing. And that's where value in. I say that mind values in. So my saying coordination engineering, projects and engineers is very important connection, because I give name coordination engineering, though it's not my name coordination engineering. I'm just saying I combine these two, coordination engineering, because it's a welcome engineering for all branches. It's an engineering in which you can find or you can tell everybody what we have to do. Some people, some personnel, some workers may not care for that. They just want to do something, but there's no one to let them know why it's required or where do you miss. And that missing is also very, very significant, because it can cause problems. So what I mean say in engineering and projects are big as well as small. You have every type of projects, but it may be big or small. Coordination works everywhere as far as engineering branches are concerned. Engineering itself says you have to use your mind. Basic means of engineering is that you have to study, you have to conduct in-depth study in any subject, in any activity, in any design, or in whatever work you do in field. No work is free of thinking. Yes, sometimes it is conventional. It's already okay, you do like this. Maybe at that point you do not think much, because you consider that thinking process produced note as reference. So when it is referral means somebody else has already thought about this. So don't waste time, use that as reference. Or you create for yourself your own references, which you say, okay, yeah, I have this reference, I can use this. No problem, you can use that. Ultimately someone has done on that. That's why I'm saying coordination is a collection of information. It's a pool of information, and is a link between this pool of information to some other information or some other project designs or project information. And we have to think about whatever information we have, that we should have the redundant information as well as we should have deficient information. And if we think if something is deficient, then we have to find out that deficient item. Where does deficiency work? If it is deficient, why it is deficient, or if it's surplus, why it's surplus, then you have to ignore surplus because that won't serve any purpose at that point, at that location where you consider working. It's therefore important that coordination is a branch in which suitable information is received and suitable information is provided to some other suitable information. This means a link can be created among all informations, that this is required information or this is not required information. That link is called coordination link. And that's very important because without this we cannot know relations that would work among various activities. So coordination is, there's no specific definition, but we can define our way. And we can say for reliable quality engineering works, it's also a very important point. For reliable quality engineering works, we have to care about this work. Okay. Now maybe somebody will start feeling sleepy because of my talk, but we have to start for reliable quality engineering works deliveries. We have to be very smart. We have to be very smart in that way, and we have to understand every point. I have talked about these snaps, these plates before also. It's a part of this paper now, this note. But I'm going to talk of some journal text. We'll take in detail study of these subjects later on, these top plates. Here is, as I say usually, I start and say coordination engineering is a must on every project. We are conferring with its at some of the point. I think there was, I don't exactly remember, but it was somewhere. We'll come back to this, but points that we have, that stages, we can say what we have to do, stages of coordination we talked of, and we may say, let's consider following point or activities, etc. in works. We can say following point or activities, etc. in works to be carried out on sites or elsewhere, for we can classify these into certain classes. One can call them stages of project working, such as visualization, you can say, visualization of idea to be converted into useful permanent work, technicalities involvement in its entire scope, carrying works at site, all works, and testing and commissioning for converting project into operational unit or occupational unit. Startup, facility or occupation of building is just very common stages, we can say. And also we have to explode these points into a world of explanations in various heads and subheads, and that's where we have to expand, have to extend, but stretch to some level, being engineers and being aspirers, working out comprehensive designs for project in each and every respect. And that's also very important that we have to comprehend designs. We have to expand them in a adequate way, in proper way, working out comprehensive designs for project in each and every respect. And designs include architectural details, structural details, service details, internal and external landscape, and utilities. This is very common for ordinary development of buildings or complexes or whatever work we do. Preparation of working out designs for running relevant details in all disciplines also required for various legal purposes. Composition of formation of documents packages for purpose of either charting out calls for bidding invitation or for self doing these works. What I mean to say, in engineering we have to prepare, we have to produce all documents of project, design documents, other documents which are you can say which are results of designs, those documents, and we have to do a lot work because we have to call someone, we have to invite someone for doing some job physically, which we call contracting work, or we may call work by some agency if not contracting, or we have to do that work ourselves. It can be whatever you can say, it can be any such consideration. And that's why it's very important to understand how does it work, how system works, or how system is generated. There are two ways again I say for systems. As a person I can join some system as an employee, and I can help that employer through that system, or I can evolve my own system. How shall I move for this work? What solution? And you can say how to find better solutions, how to apply better solutions for every stage, respective every stage. That can be called system, and there should be adequate, or you can say there should be whatever required degree of coordination must be there. So we can say then design includes all disciplines, as we said, architectural, structural, services, all services, and all internal and external landscapes and utilities and whatever else. Therefore, there are also preparation of related documents. Working out design, we have to prepare design documents, and we have to prepare other documents which based on which work shall be done. We have talked about that. And not only that we have to work in those documents, we have to actually justify them, and we have to use them for legal purpose also. If contracting system is used, then that cannot be that can be avoided. You have to use that contract system to even if some work we do ourselves. Because the composition of formation of documents is very important part. We have to form those documents. It's not simply we can say we'll copy and paste it. That doesn't work. Don't make a habit of copying and paste until you are sure that it won't raise questions. If you think that it's typical, we have proven experience on this, and we can no problem, we copy and paste it, or we just make reference of that. Means both ways you can do it, reference or copy paste, or a kind of certain method you can, we come up that now. Preparation of working out designs for running relevant details in all disciplines, also required for various legal purposes. Legal purpose means contract related, because particularly in civil engineering construction goes on for months and years continuously, and then we can say something is delivered. Composition of formation of documents, a package for purpose of either charting out calls for bidding invitation or for self doing these works. Preparation of bills of quantities, as we discussed before also, is very, very important work, because bills of quantity only can tell us how much work you have to do, what the extent of work, quantum of work, and that also generates expected budget requirement for that project. We have budget before allotted, but now it is based on adequate details or design details, means it is a detailed system. We can know a kind of a first level reliable costing. And bill of quantity, in short we write BOQ in abbreviated form, and that bill of quantity or bills of quantities, you can say, there are so many, not one, not two. It can be long list, and that is really, that's amounts to, you can say, important data. It shows all items related that bill, and also it gives rates each item and what are units of that item. Ultimately, after analysis or having other data, we can use rates we already have for each item delivery. It may include profit, or profit can be added separately. That is another point. But bills of quantity, in that sense, you can say it's voluminous work, because it cannot be done just by speaking. We have to take off quantities. Take off quantities from drawings, from other details, and according to what's best method. And that quantity take off only first step, and then employing units, and after conducting analysis based on expenses on each item, we can generate rates for each item, each quantity in that BOQ. And once we have quantity computed and we have rate specific for that project, we can find cost of that item. And one BOQ may contain many items, and then there will be many BOQs for some major item or major work. So it's like that, we have to link, and this linking itself is coordination track. You may say coordination track or coordination network, which you have to do yourself sometimes, and then you have to also give orders, or you expect that from other colleagues or seniors or juniors, whatever is appropriate. Among above parts, you can say, among above structural part of documents and finishes, part of architectural as well as other activities dominate cost factors that can be marginalized by BOQ and decided, required and demanded specifications pertinent to all disciplines involved. It's very simple to say, in fact, that ultimately we have to know cost, whatever cost we think is appropriate. That cost, you can say, depends on many factors. What are finishes, what are requirements, what this item demands, and what is other items related to this. And likewise, you can say there is some margin, and within that we can work in each item, and that document which you produce by respecting that item or that item in BOQ, it gives you a sense of construction, sense of what's going to happen, and you may say it is required. It's kind of specific data on project. Controls we have to do based on quantity, based on quality, whatever it is, we understand clearly. Specifications also important there, because specification means way of working. Way of working means officially working or working on record and working for creating some data for future. Likewise, we can say drawing specification is very serious. Drawing specification is very serious issue. Everybody knows that. It's easy to say, but drawing specification is a very serious issue, for it relates to each and every activity to be included on project. Specification drawing is really an intelligent job, because it's not right. You have to write pinpointed information, but clear one. You have to produce pinpointed writing with clear conception, giving clear requirements, and specification therefore also called a part of design, or design in sense of specifications, or design in sense of description, what is to be done. And really it's very much helpful, and it's nothing new, it's not new topic. We know that specification is very, very significant, because itself is specific, not general. We're not calling generality here, we're calling particular care, we're calling for that fulfilling requirement. So we can say drawing specification is very serious issue, for it relates to each and every activity to be included on project. Specification documentation is an extremely difficult technical and engineering requirement, which only an experienced professional in certain particular topic of subject shall only be able to write successfully. Every person cannot write it until that person has seen it, how this work can be done. I don't say you have to involve personally, but must have information, field information, how this work is or can be done. It can be done this way or that way, or with certain variations. There can be some other specification used, but it's not as easy as I'm saying. We may say that copying and paste system never works. In writing specification, yes, in case certain specification lists are available, certain copy and paste system works in writing specifications in case certain specification lists are available in form of general specification with some organization for general activities. That wealth could be used for such general documentation. Otherwise, each and every specific item to be included on works requires drawing detailed specification. Detailed specification which should contain every act, what it should be and what it should be done with. Both indications must be there. And if there is some reference involved, that reference must also be available there or reflected within that writing. There will be a requirement of various chapters of specification for all sections of works. And if it is related to parts of each BOQ, that document shall be assistive. Documents for each subdisciplines must be charted out. Documents for each subdisciplines must be charted out. For typical rotations as well as for specific items in a reliable professional way for it impacts upon cost. That point we must keep in mind. Impact upon cost. Is it that powerful that it can impact our cost, or is it just a question of a matter of procedure that should be amended? Sorry. I'm sarcastic. Sorry. There would be a requirement of various chapters in specifications for all sections of works, and if it's related to parts of each BOQ. The document shall be assistive, of course, and the documents for such subdisciplines must be charted out for typical rotations as well as for specific items in a reliable professional way, for it impacts upon cost. Indeed, such expressive heads, as we have said, indeed aforesaid expressive heads amount to voluminous work. Volume of work, so we may say volume of documents production, quantity, but it's necessary for every control on construction time, duration required, cost necessary, and standard of quality requirements, which would be dominated by sort of specifications that we include. It means specification may change if it is very strong, or it can require something that we did not think about. So that's another point of concern here. We say, indeed, as we explained till now, aforesaid expressive heads amount to volume of work or voluminous work quantum, but necessary for every control on construction time, duration required, cost necessary for standard of quality requirement, which would be dominated by sort of specification to be included. Initially, all such activities, these foregoing activities, though conducted off-site in offices of experts, yet are coordinated perfectly. Let me put off my battery for time being. That's also routine, because it impacts upon life of battery. Just a second, please. Let me get up and see what to do. Sometimes, I was wearing my shoes. So here is what I say. We have to say indeed. I've said that. So what do we say is, says indeed aforesaid expressive heads amount to volumes of works. They have done this, and we can say that we have to think of that about time, about cost, everything. Indeed, aforesaid expressive heads amount to volumes were quantum, but necessary for every control on construction. Time, duration required, cost necessary, and the standard of quality requirements. It should be dominated by sort of specifications to be included. Initially, these activities, though conducted off-sites in offices of experts, yet are coordinated perfectly at all stages. From design viewpoint through major portion, the major portion relates to design engineering domain and quantity engineering also, so-called estimation. Design and estimation, because quality of design and what is required in design, that impacts on cost estimates. So budget also has got some relation with design as well as work on site, and design work both are linked to estimates, linked to cost. That point must be kept in view. Here we are not talking only structural design, we are talking complete design. Structural design has limitations because it cannot be, you can't save much in that, but there are options in other parts of designs, non-structural designs. That point we should keep in mind. Important point, designs within this stage must be coordinated correctly to an extent possible among various disciplines, say between architectural and structural disciplines, structural and services disciplines, architectural and other disciplines whatsoever. All the disciplines, whatever being involved. We can say total concept of constructability. We have to understand this term very clearly. Total concept of constructability or buildability must be taken care of during all such designs and respective coordination, which if ignored could mar a smooth execution possibility of project work activities, resulting in certain delays on completion time. Keep in mind, delay in completion time, very serious issue, very serious matter as far as contract relates or project relates, both. We say contract relates means you just think of contractor and owner, but delay is delay. It's by whatever reason. If it is delayed and we cannot recover that delay, and that is a serious situation. If we think we can recover it, then you may say it's a compensatory situation, or it's a retelling, means we can control and we feel happy professionally, say yes, we can recover lost time. And that is where we say it should be. We have to adopt that policy. If we have lost something, we must be capable to recover that impact of lost. Loss. Constructability is very important point. We have to understand that constructionability, this term is clear, but impact is not clear. How does it impact? Constructability is a dominant issue in current advanced technology application. Very, very important issue. It's in fact advanced technological issue. So we can say constructability is a dominant issue in current advanced technology applications scenario, which of course lacks in training at first level of education. That is a major point. First level of education. If something is missing, how can we understand that in remaining stages? That is issue of constructability. Something is constructable or something is not constructable. How to know? How to differentiate? And that is where important point lies in. It should be known to engineer in design, and it should be known to engineering contracting or engineering in supervision about issue of constructability or buildability, because without these issues, without these requirements, we can't do anything. We may understand, may not understand, or we may make some error in construction if we don't understand correctly. That point is worth considering, you can say, worth considering. Constructability is very common word used in system, used in designs, used in quality. In fact, it's used in whole engineering, constructability. And really, it should be understood. It should be understood very, very clearly, without any doubt. And that is a very important requirement. We cannot say you know it or you don't know it. We cannot say that. We have to see by working. Such problems do not exist in design office. Means they have to work only in designs, and therefore they do not care much about such requirement, but it is a very important requirement and to be realized by everybody, that if you do not know how it can be constructed or how best it gets, or you can say it is worth in construction or it's not worth, that is really important point. So as I said, constructability or buildability is an issue. It is. And constructability is a dominant issue in current scenario, in current advanced technology application scenario, which of course lacks in training at first level of education. It should be kept in mind that engineering is a factual world. It's not fictitious. It's based on facts. And no fiction can be successful, which means that just talking is not adequate. But work delivery, implementation is necessary. That's the main point here. Because engineering, there's no talk engineering in fact. To be very frank, there's no talk engineering, there's only work engineering. That is what it is. For meeting aforesaid requirements, a lot professional maturity, higher degree of professional maturity is essential to comprehend whole issue that relates to works, to be carried out by various either agencies or parties involved on every project. From conception stage to design stage, from conception stage to design stage, and then to construction stage, and then finally to delivery stage. Very good string, you can say. such activities, entitlement can be described in its heading form as such, which may be indexed in entirety on into divisions as such. We're just going to discuss little on that, and we'll see one by one what can we say about that. And we say that stage is project planning, explanation of planning classes, etc. There's so many stages. We can say a long list may not be there, but a comprehensive list is available here. It's and it is therefore important one. So we have such activities, entitlement, we can say project planning, explanations of planning classes, entire design involving all disciplines pertinent, all branches of job included engineering whatsoever. Detailed designs per project, functional requirements for purpose of further documentation that may be required for meeting objectives of formation of formal contracts or working documents, quantification, or you can say quantification, or you can say quantification leading to various bills of quantities, preparation, specification preparation, which could be general one, as well as project related specifically or particularly, as well manufacturers related procedures, which are very important point. Processing comprehensive package of bidding documents, processing comprehensive package of bidding documents, shortlisting possible project related experienced bidder, processing entire bidding, leading to selection of contractor after having conducted thorough scrutiny of received bid documents, passed through professional competition, furthering if required, conducting negotiations based on value added bids are also received an alternative bid, which is also right of client, received an alternative bid, and also a right of contractor to suggest or to submit along with main bid. Formal declaration of an appointment of contractor, which could be either in construction status or in EPC status, depending on requirements. Requirements of what? Requirements of contract. So, sorry, just thought of silence. Okay. Now, received an alternative bid, formal declaration of appointment of contractor, which could be either in construction status or in EPC status whatsoever. Foregoing immediate paragraph, I just said this section 6, foregoing immediate paragraphs contents give or fulfill pre-construction of project execution requirements, which are of course very cumbersome, since all involved activities are office oriented, but import heavy requirement of professional working experience and professional pragmatism for a successful impending contract documentation based on bid documentation. For sure, all these included works, all above included works activities amount to involvement of engineering and coordination on equal basis, because if one is missed, others shall also miss, which criticality must be considered seriously for reliable documentation, for reliable working or execution of project works. It's again refreshed. It's refreshed, It's refreshed that conducting multidisciplinary coordination from involved branches of various engineering, that must be depending on project nature, shall always be a must for final detailing out engineering solutions, and not just work on isolated solutions for each discipline. This requirement is often missed or misunderstood by many juniors or budding professionals due to lack of project experience. But once one gets itself certain project delivered, then considerable lot learning is attained. This is an only reason that after having undergone few years of working experience on certain projects, one can call self a trainer to oneself, and then trainers towards others. Means first you train yourself. If you are intelligent, brilliant, and awakener, first you train yourself and then you can think of others. That is very much right. This only reason, after having few years of working experience on certain projects, one can call self a trainer to oneself, and then trainers towards others, which wealth earns oneself confidence, where after such confidence acts as one of competency potentials, and each and every such competencies counts while considering professional attainment, marking as part of continuous professional development, CPD. Again I read this paragraph, a little mix up. This is an only reason that after having undergone few years of working experience on certain projects, one can call self a trainer for self you may say, or trainers for others towards others. That's also possible. Towards others. Which wealth earns oneself confidence, where after such confidence acts as one of competency potentials. And each and every such competency or competencies cannot while considering professional attainment marking as a part of continuous professional development. In such useful and enduring growing up, in such useful and enduring grooming up situation that makes projects to act like field universities, though no academic short-term title is conferred. Yet there exists no alternative to replace such reliable training from elsewhere. Because such project related organization equips incumbent professionals with certain permanent knowledge along with sharing responsibilities, and such chain continues throughout work career in professionals, work career of professionals. Since this space is exclusively related to coordination activities that are always involved on engineering decision making, without which support progress can be held. Progress can be held if you don't have that support. It's also, you can say, a point, or you may say warning point, or a blank suggestion. Since this page is exclusively related to coordination activities that always involved on engineering decision making, without which support progress can be held. Such requirement imports very significant in necessary, since such requirement imports very important and significant, very important significance in necessity of certain level professionals having multifaceted theoretical and practical experience on various callings, and even of if one has deficiency in certain discipline, documents reading would make up that deficiency. So it's also certain facts that coordination is individual scrutiny oriented, without requiring any interruption to enable incumbent coordinate to concentrate continuously for whatever issue until resolution reaches for clarification and confirmation. Clarification and confirmation, and for certain possible proposition in whatever way, in whatever suit based in project interest. It's also certain fact that coordination is individual scrutiny oriented without requiring any interruption to enable incumbent coordinator to concentrate continuously for whatever issue until resolution reaches for clarification and confirmation for certain possible proposition, whatever suit best in project interest. Many documents can be used and are used in on many projects, such as indicated below, but more if so required can be added. Likewise, we can say what are these requirements on some documents, only not all, and that too in briefly stated, not elaborately stated. Many documents can be used, are used in many projects. Let me wear my shirt, my coat also, I'm feeling cold. Many documents can be used and are used on many projects, such as indicated below, but more if so required can be added. There is no restriction for that, and that point we have to keep in view. We can say, for example, there's a document known by name of side diary or daily job records. You can say that side diary or daily job records. And that you can say it's a report. You may say report, daily report, that must include which we can say inclusion are activities completed. We can start with that: activities completed, activities planned, work strength, workers strength, supervision strength, weather data we can say. Weather data, equipment arrived on site. You may say whatever equipment arrived, whatever equipment, whatever type of machine or transport or something specific that would be used for purpose of work. So you can say equipment arrived, progress advanced or achieved, status of materials arrived, visitors on site, quality issues, specific actions we have taken, safety issues, etc., and whatever be in particular required or transpired on that particular day. And it's a record, means it's not something we can say can be used for claims. It's just a record, nothing else but reliable one. We can use it as reference in many ways, and that's the main point here. It's not no evidence. It's statistical data, you can say it is, or logistics, record of logistics. It says that we say which activities we started or which we planned and which completed. We know what we completed yesterday. If not completed, it's continuous. We can write that. And we can also write, if we wish, that we have done this much activity, this is quantity of that. Though it's not very important, but it can just tell more and more about. And it won't take much time also, because you have to record it howsoever. So you can say, example, so you say I poured concrete on slab, let us say 500 cubic meter. So you could write that. That's only, nothing else. And which activities we are going to do means in coming time, maybe in coming days, or maybe today, tomorrow. Those activities which are continuous nature, which are of continuous nature, cannot be finished in 1 hour, 2 hours. Those activities can be included, which require attention of supervisor, attention of consulting engineer, or attention of yourself itself. We say which activities we have to plan and how many workers we have, which class of worker, which class of hour worker, subcontracts worker, and likewise you can say we can give the subcontractor statistical data about work strength, and of course supervision strength. What supervisor may are there can also be added. What's weather? You say maximum temperature, minimum temperature, is rising, falling, and also you can say this is time consuming. So we can say weather data we have, temperature, relative humidity, likewise that we can observe, not big deal. Then equipment that we got for work or for some other reason, it's official. If it is, we have to record that. Then we have progress advanced or achieved, status of materials. So progress we achieved, we have to reflect our calculation and results. Whatever percent of the work has been done, it's not big deal, you know it very well. Then we can say progress advanced or achieved, status of we can say materials arrived, means what is the status of materials, how many materials we have submitted for purpose of approval, and how many more days you have to go there. That point is also very critical. So we will start in this case, say as we said, visitors, status of materials, and what materials we got. We know that we can make a record. If it's also a record that it's inspection material, you have to inspect the call. You call inspect for inspection. That also a possibility is a bulk material and approved one. If it is, of course, generally materials are approved, and we've got big bulk quantity of that. Therefore, you have to inform concerned engineer that we have got delivery of this material, and that's very important item. It weighs on contract. And then we can say, other than this, visitors, materials, and quality issues, and that's very important point. Quality issues, if there are some issues that dealt with on site, or there's something that we did not do properly, that can be taken in quality issues, approvals, no approvals, or something that is disputed, or lapses on quality, or whatever you can say, that can be, is required to be entered in right information on your daily job record. So materials arrived, visitors on site who came, who did come specifically, whosoever it is, and if you know, these people visited. Quality issues we know, specific conditions, specific actions, we say safety issues, etc., and whatever be in our particular requirement required or transpired on that particular day. Now there's a document now used generally called site memorandum. It's a very ordinary document, just like it's like a letter, though it's not letter yet. Memorandum is called, it's in letter form, and it reminds something. I tell someone this is pending, do it, or it itself means okay, this has been done, we are happy with you. Whatever sometimes engineer has to respond. That response is only for record purpose, not from some other purpose. Then you can say site memorandum, briefly written site memo, which is used for purpose of recording, advising, instructing, and for whatever miscellaneous purpose. Valid for is a site instruction next to site memo. Means site instruction is higher level, higher profile than site memorandum, and because site instruction is some instructive document when it requires action. Site instruction valid for procedures and communication information is used for confirming you can say certain specific task, or if there would be required some changes on specification or like. Engineer's instruction, then it is much higher than site memo and site instruction. This is a legal one and claimable one. Site engineer's instruction applies contractually and claimable. It is claimable. Is empowered as a legal contractual document for purpose of instituting claims. Site technical queries for technical approvals and update are meant for purpose of all technical queries, raising clarification requests, raising nominal request for proposal on already approved items, submission of each such request that may not impact contractually. So what I say, cite technical query for technical approval and update are meant for purpose of all technical queries, raising clarification, requests, raising nominal request for proposal on already approved items. Submission of each with you can say respect that may not impact contextually. That is cite technical query, engineering query or technical query. Engineering queries for design clarifications, issues required for design issues, got designs of for confirmation that from engineering policies issued. Construction method statements for mandatory working requirements can be used for purpose of defining in details about all sequence of whatever works being carried out or shall be carried out. Which improved statements must be complied with in its entirety, or must include scope of work, materials, references to documents, safety issues, responsibilities of various job descriptions, and qualities, responsibilities, procedures or methods, inspection, certain necessary attachments also. Then we have to say, have shop drawings for work execution must be produced. Shop drawings for work execution must be produced to convert service schematic drawings into real fabrication or similar purpose, giving detailed technicalities for purpose to be carried out, works on site. Shop drawings can also be used for purpose of charting out interdisciplinary conflicts or clashes, and also we can define it more terms if you think. Let me see if we can define it more terms. It's better to understand. Shop drawings are produced by contractors and suppliers under their contract with honor. It's different explanation you can say. Says shop drawing is a drawing or set of drawings produced by contractor, supplier, manufacturer, subcontractor, consultants or fabricators. Shop drawings are typically required for prefabricated components. Examples of these include elevators, structural steel, trusses, precast concrete, windows, air appliances, cabinets of air handling units, and millwork. Also, critical are installation and coordination shop drawing of MEP trades. MEP means electromechanical and plumbing, such as steel metal network, piping, plumbing, and fire protection. And electrical Shop drawings are produced by contractors, suppliers. Shop drawings manufacturers or countries drawn version, contractors drawn version of information shown on construction documents. Shop drawing normally shows more details than construction documents. It's drawn to explain fabrication, efficient fabrication and installation of items to manufacturers production crew or contractors installation access. So we can say shop drawing is the manufacturer's or contractor's drawn version of information shown in construction documents. Shop drawing normally shows more details than construction documents. It's drawn to explain fabrication or installation of these items to manufacturers production. As we said, shop drawing is very important item we have to deal with. Shop drawing is manufacturers or contractors to drawn version of information shown on construction documents. Shop drawing normally shows more details than construction documents. It's if it is drawn to explain fabrication and or installation of items to manufacturers, production crews or construction or installation crews. Style of shop drawing is very different from that of architect's viewing. Shop drawing primarily emphasizes on to particular product or installation of receives notation after other products and installations. Also we can say what information we may require on shop drawings. Comparison information for architect and engineer, notes of changes or alteration from construction drawings, information needed further your percentage of installation information samples and computed mechanical, electrical and plumbing design coordination. Same way we can say what we said here. We talked to shop drawing plainly and also execution. That's also very important point. Very important point in this case we can say working drawings. Working drawing, general specification documentation, working drawing specifications are primary working documents used as rockbed designs and definitions and types of working drawings. Working drawings are drawings used as reference or guide in manufacture of a product. Most often refers to engineering and architecture, but working drawings are used in many different modes of construction. These drawings are composed according to industry standards so that all information is easily and clearly understood, and standard conventions or units are used. There are two different types of working drawings. One is detailed drawing, which shows various views of an object and includes important working drawing, you can say important what is working drawing in construction? Let's see. A working drawing or blueprint based on explanations. It's completed with a thorough plan and views, details, notes and dimensions to ensure product construction or replication without any additional information. After learning what's working drawing in construction, must be interested in knowing more about it. It's a part of production information provided by designers to construction team to help construct a project. Production information is of two types: working drawing and construction drawings. Working drawing is a part of production information provided by designer to construction team to help construction project. Production information is of two types: working drawing and construction drawing. Working drawings provide graphical and dimensional information. This data can be used by contractors to build their work or help suppliers to increase parts of works. So it's a working drawing provides graphical and dimensional information that can be used by contractors to build their work or help suppliers to create parts of work or assemble components. Working drawing can be in form of structural drawings, architectural drawings, civil drawings, electrical drawings and mechanical drawings and so forth. Conventionally, working drawings consist of two-dimensional orthogonal projections of building, including sections, plans and elevations. These are either drawn by hand or using a computer-aided software. But now building information modeling is used to make three-dimensional representation of buildings and parts of construction. Working drawings comprise 5 dimensions: title block, symbol and notation. It's vital for them to be consistent with industry standards to make an impact. Construction drawing is a set of drawings utilized for displaying the relation between various parts of project in construction. Drawings display all text axes of columns, all dimensions, including ones needed to relate or assemble all these parts together, or locations. So based between walls and assets. So we can say these drawings are very specific, we can know, and it's of course good that we have gone through this, so we can now say we understand what it is, and it's a very important point. Here we have written about working drawing. That working drawings for work execution means detailed drawings constructed from schematic designs to suit work area per regulations, and giving work related dimensions about first fix activity to be missed, to be installed, respecting electromechanical services. So what's definition here is very important definition. As usual it is same as I referred to from Wikipedia. Working drawing for work execution means detailed drawings constructed from schematic designs to suit work area for regulations, and giving work-related dimensions about first fix activity to be installed, respecting electromechanical services. All, all services disciplines require production and submission of such drawing for purpose of approvals and for carrying out involved activity. Such drawing help in containing interdisciplinary clashes so that works on all activities can be affected smoothly. Site clarification. Site clarification is required for purpose to agree for some ambiguous detailing, or when it is given the details to be decided to suit site conditions. For whatever site mutual agreement for certain issues or for clarifications or for certain proposals, pertinent designs or work executions, or for detailed sketches. These queries can be used for various records or execution purpose. Certain confirmations, whatever suits to involved problem, are issued in considerable question. That is what site clarification is, and can be also checked what else it should be, because you can say here site I don't think you'll find something here. It doesn't matter now. Now is a page you can show. This is from Wikipedia, and this is you can say it says, you can see, define what is shop drawing for your reference. I will say also you can see some drawing is shown, and what it says shop drawing is drawing or set of drawings produced by contractor, supplier, manufacturer, subcontractor, consultants, or fabricator. Shop drawings are typically required for prefabricated components. I said before also. Examples of these include elevators, structural steel, trusses, precast concrete, windows, appliances, cabinets, air handling units, and millwork. Also, critical area installation and coordination. Shop drawings of mechanical, electrical, plumbing, trades such as sheet metals, ductwork, piping, plumbing, fire protection, and electrical shop drawings. Shop drawings are produced by contractors and suppliers under their contract with owner. Shop drawing is manufacturers or contractors drawn version of information shown in documents. Shop drawing normally shows more details than construction documents. It's drawn to explain fabrication and or installation of items to manufacturers, production crew or contractors, installations crews. Style of shop drawing is usually very different from that of architect's drawing. Shop drawing's primary emphasis on particular product or installation and excludes notation concerning other products and installations unless integration with subject product is necessary. Now what does it contain? It contains, you can say, comparison information for architect and engineer, notes of changes, so whatever say, notes of changes or alterations from construction documents, information needed to fabricate products, indication of dimensions needing verification from job site, placement or installation information, samples, reviews means you can say comparison information architect and engineer. Shop drawings should include information for architect and engineer to compare to specifications and drawings. Shop drawing should address appearance, performance and perspective descriptions in specifications and construction drawings. Shop drawing often is more detailed than information shown on construction documents to give architect and engineer opportunity to review fabricator's version of product prior to fabrication, reference to construction documents, drawings and specifications, assist architect and engineer in their review of shop drawings, attachment of manufacturer's material specification, catalog cut sheets and others. Manufacturer's information may be helpful to economy and manufacturer's material specification, catalog cut sheets and other manufacturer's information may be helpful to accompany these drawings because shop drawings facilitate architects and engineers approval to meet and you can say because shop drawings facilities architects and engineers approval of each. Notes of changes or alterations from construction document. Notes concerning changes or differences from original documents should be made on shop drawings for architects and engineers approval. Ultimately, they are responsible. They are responsible for changes in these drawings and should have opportunity to analyze any modifications. A dialogue should occur between fabricator and architect and engineer about any areas, whatever areas requiring clarification. Successful installments are result of collaboration between designer, fabricator and engineer or contractor, you can say. So information manufacturing conventions and special fabrication information. We have an indication of dimensions needing verification from job sites. A shop drawing information required to fabricate product. It's also very important point. We have to select the percentage. How much is now? 36%. So I have to put it on because I don't take risk. Information required to fabricate a product. Dimensions, manufacturing conventions, and special fabrication instructions should be included on shop drawing. It should be clear to fabrication personnel what shall be manufactured from shop drawings alone. Construction documents are rarely used as reference in fabrication, with fabricators relying on shop drawing for all information. Indication of dimensions requiring verification, indication of dimension needing verification from job site. Most job site dimensions, such as dimensions between two surfaces on job site, require to be verified. The dimension may be shown on construction drawings, but actual dimension may vary from very small to large increments depending on job site conditions. But actual dimension may vary from very small to large increments depending on job site conditions. It's extremely important that fabricated items arrive on job site ready to be installed without field modification. Special care must be taken by contractor to measure and verify dimensions. In new construction, plan dimensions usually are sufficient for ordering many fabricated items such as structural steel or precast concrete. So structure is the precast concrete, and that is this one. And then in remodeling or renovation work, it's essential that field dimensions be verified prior to fabrication. Some fabricators, such as cabinet and casework suppliers, prefer not to rely on contractors' verification and shall verify dimensions with their own personnel. Placement or installation information. Some fabricators and manufacturers provide symbols, data, or instructions concerning installation. This can include a list of other materials, so say some fabricators and manufacturers provide symbols, data, or instructions concerning installations. This can include a list of other materials such as fasteners or adhesives. Fasteners or adhesives appropriate. You can say fasteners or adhesives appropriate but not included for product. Third party review may be required for major building systems. An example of this would be a commercial chiller which would be furnished by mechanical contractor but require electrical connections, plumbing, rigging, installation and commissioning. Various third parties shall need review installation information and confirm they are furnishing compatible equipment and proper layout of services. Review of installation information for major equipment should be done with field supervisors, including project superintendent, trade foreman, and field engineer. Installation of major equipment indicate structural clearances and temporary openings. Some fabricators require sample submittal with shop drawing primarily for color and texture selections of finishes. Computer-aided mechanical, electrical and plumbing design coordination. Problems with design coordination such as time consumption and ineffectiveness related to current 2D paper-based process are some of top concerns of general contractor. Since late conflict correction increases potential for errors in field. In order to address issue, there have been increasing number of architecture, engineering and construction firms utilizing building information models (BIM) in their coordination and clash detection processes, which according to practitioners allows for increased coordination and fewer field problems. And through automatic clash detection using a building information model, automatic clash detection identified several clashes that were missed by contractors who were performing this task manually. Also, manual clash detection identified clashes which could not possibly be found by automatic clash detection software, since one of clashing objects was not modeled in BIM, for example cable trays. This study also included site observations of field detected clashes, some which were not identified in either manual or automatic processes. Lethe noted that combination of clashes identified in coordination meetings, those automatically detected as well as those identified in field, enable identification of objects that require to be modeled in order to capture largest possible number of clashes. This paper was limited to comparison of type of clashes identified in each of three methods during a specific project. Although these results cannot be generalized, they still provide insight towards requirement to identify what needs to be done, modeled in BIM or MVP coordination prior to start of coordination process. Because writing comments on 8 to 10 copies of a tedious process and inefficient use of architect engineer's time will frequently specify other methods for distributing comments. Quick review is essential during approval process, and method that facilitates this while providing ample opportunity for comments and complete distribution should be considered. Although a procedure may be specified in contract drawings, most architects and engineers are open to suggestions and innovations that speed up process. Shop drawings are required in various forms. depending upon practice of architect and engineer. A specific number of copies may be required by specification. Examples which were completed and corrected shop drawings may include owner, architect, consulting engineer, contractor, supplier, etc. etc. Submitted one of two copies of shop drawing. Corrections are made by interaction engineers, and shop drawing is corrected by supplier. An appropriate number of copies distributed. This method can be time consuming and shop drawing is not approved until contracts are made. Submittal of a copy that can be reproduced, and architect and engineer make comments on reproducible, then copies are distributed. Method of facilities that timely approval and distribution of shop drawing. Review comments usually are obvious on reproducible copy. Compatible CAD software, so we can point, and that is working drawing. I can say what is working drawing here. It is a shop drawing. Yes, working drawing details if you have. Working drawings. I'm just trying to find something. If you have working drawing, work online. Working drawing. What's the working drawing question? Is that in fine art? No, it's not that. What is working drawing and construction type? It's important. Let's say for this a very simple definition is given. Let's see what is that actually. Better to know what is that for focus of knowledge. Not to worry about time, but at this stage we are in depth studies. We can say what does, as we studies shop drawing, we can say it's working drawing, and what can it give us. Just it's not necessary which field it is. There's no meaning of that. That's more important. This meaning is should be construction definition and type, and it is now it says working drawing is a blueprint based on explanation. It's a blueprint based explanation, thorough plan. Through plan views, details, notes, and dimensions to ensure that construction or application without any additional information goes on smoothly. That's what we can say. And after learning what is working drawing, construction must be more about this, so keep reading. So the working drawing is a part of, you can say working drawing is a part of production information provided by designers to construct. Drawings, architectural drawings, civil drawings, electrical drawings, and mechanical drawings, and so forth. BIM is used to make the three-dimensional representation of buildings and parts for construction. Working drawings comprise of dimensions, title blocks, symbols, and notation. It's vital for them to be consistent with industry standards to make an impact. Construction drawing is a set of drawings utilized for displaying relation between various parts of project In construction drawing, display all axes of columns, all dimensions including ones needed to relate or assemble. So we can say have a set of drawings utilized for displaying relation between various parts of projects. In construction drawing will display all axes of columns, dimensions, including one needed, right, or assemble all parts together. Locations such as between walls, etc. Whatever it is, construction drawing is not a big deal. We have structural drawing. Kind of working drawing provides all information regarding these structures, electrical drawings, technology and working drawings. I don't think there's something very important here. I can leave this and go further because it's not giving very specific information. So let us waste all this time and close it. As here you can say, if you go back and see something else, so let's go to some other working drawings, So we go further on this now. We have actually tried to explain for work execution means working drawing for work execution means detailed drawings constructed from schematic designs to suit work areas for regulations and giving work related dimensions about first fix activity to be installed, respecting electromechanical services we can say. And all services disciplines require production and submission of such drawings for purpose of approvals and carrying out involved activities. Such drawing helps in containing interdisciplinary clashes so that works on all activities be affected smoothly. Site clarification is required for purpose to agree for some ambiguous detailing, or when it's given that details be decided to suit site conditions for whatever site mutual agreement for certain issues or for clarifications or for certain proposals, pertinent designs or work executions, or for detailed sketches. These queries can be used for various records and execution purpose. Certain confirmations, etc., whatever suits to involve problems or issue and consideration question. Quality check. Now this is site clarification, as we said, are important items. Site clarification is site technical. We have to deal with so many, particularly where design is ours or where we get some information, even construction contracts, you can see discrepancies do occur. And these discrepancies are required to be resolved because there is no other way, because drawings and all details have been done sometimes with intelligence as well as concentration, and sometimes they are done just to run away from location after time is over. It's like that, but you should remember that perfect job is perfect. What you wear, what you say, doesn't matter anything. Your job is related, so clarifications are also obtained, confirmations also obtained. If something relevant, you have to make it right. If some suspicion is, whatever you can say, site technical query, site clarifications, very important part. So is actually query, either give proposal or get answer in terms of response. It's not very big, we can say. So that's what clarification has no limit at all. You can say even false statement चलता है. You can say clarification has no limit, means technical query clarification also. No limit. We have site clarification required for purpose to resolve agree for some ambiguous detailing, or when it is given that details be decided to suit site conditions for whatever reason, whatever site condition. You can say for clarifications for whatever site mutual agreement for certain issues, or for clarifications or for certain proposals. So we can say very much in this. In fact, site clarification has been explained. Again, I explained site clarification is required for purpose to resolve agree for some ambiguous details, or where it is given that details be decided to suit site conditions for for whatever reason, whatever site mutual agreement for certain issues, or for clarifications, or for certain proposals. Pertinent design or work process work executives of for detailed sketches. These queries can be used for various records and contains so we can go further on quality issue now. Quality issue, which is very important part in our projects, for which we are writing so much, and that is quality issue. In which you say quality checklist. Quality checklist is a document which is used that is used for each item prior to ITP is recorded. It guides about what items or contents of activity should be considered significantly for inspection purpose. These checks can involve technical checks, non-technical checks, specific requirements for both parties, and also vendor's offer. It also includes performance requirement per So what is here? We will say quality check. It's an important item, quality check, because it impacts the system. We may say it's an important should be considered significantly for inspection purpose. These checks can involve technical check, non-technical check. All such indicated or mandated criteria should be concerned prior to working out for activities and conducting inspections. You can say a quality control checklist is basically a written guide for whatever products, contents, packaging, color, barcode, appearance, possible defects, possible defects. We say checklist in this case we can say, as I defined, a quality checklist is basically a written guide for whatever products, contents, packaging, color, barcodes, appearance, possible defects, function and spatial requirements. It's also possible sometimes calling inspection criteria sheet or inspection checklist. Quality inspection request, that is ITP, NCR, non-conformist report, red lines documents on records, built document of drawings, and project leaders. There's no explanation given so far, but it will be added soon. This is regarding ITP, what is quality inspection request. ITP is a written request sent to inspector or engineer who particularly another attempt. Yes, then, well, this quality inspection request is done for many important items which require physical presence of both architect, engineer, and external engineer. Let's sort ITPs means we have to inspect that item according to our checklist, and we have to see which part is accepted, which part is not accepted. There is a complexity in ITP, and we have to resolve it. That us. Okay, let's see now. Go further. We see now we go through. As I said, inspection test plan. Every activity has got its own inspection test plan, and it depends on what sort of activities that We have to consider certain active items and certain non-active items, both inactive items you can say, and we have to plan accordingly what instructions are required in that. It's very speedy, but you spend time once and every time you get drawings, you can say, we can say that whatever should be done and has to be done and has been done, we can check according to ITP. If we find some errors, we take actions accordingly. ITP is very important document. If it tells quality inspection was done and actions recorded. An important document. Okay, there we have, you say, ITPs we have gone through. We will discuss in the later stage. Many items we have discussed already in past videos. And non-conformance report. Non-conformance report is very significant part of proposed documentation, and also it controls site in its entirety. All explanations that were given in post limiter So we have to say NCR. We have done work, but we did not care for quality requirement. What is required? We missed something. Or we did not at all consent us during initiation. Got my point? We have to question about this, how to handle NCR if we got it. We have to, because it impacts on payment. Until NCR is held responsible, nothing slows down to right. Okay, so we go further on this. We can say that NCR shall impact us if it is created on mistakes, and it should be there on site until that warning is matched. We have to take care of NCRs, very important document. If whatever observations are there, either we refute that or we have to accept that if we are not taking care of that inside diary or record or whatever it should be, and it's like already department that is to be active in this regard. And because it's kind of process punishment if following activities are faced and this activity is not even remote. Site resolutions. Okay, I have to now enter into another phase of this, and that is, let us see about NCR and red line documents or records and as-built drawings. Now, red line documents are very important from changes viewpoint. Changes to construction drawings, changes to schematic drawings, or whatever changes are made or agreed on site of actual work. Changes are always there because it is practicality. Sometimes electrical changes, mechanical changes, HVAC, etc., routes changes, duct sizes changes. Such activities meet requirement. We supply water from whatever way, somewhere. It involves changes and various inspections, various modifications that we have to be cared about. So we can say that about this, and we can say that red line documents are, changes that are recorded, and it is really very important item. There may be many changes depending on activities, depending on problems, and depending on queries, and depending on site conditions, and also depending on unknown clashes or whatever reasons. We have to take care of that, and that way we can say red line changes are recorded. These are not just because changes we like. And of course, then we get into as-built documents, which are based on changes. It has got direct relation. This term, that is as-built, means whatever is built on site, that has to be recorded for purpose of maintenance, for purpose of future. Otherwise, we have to be careful about that, and we have to take care about that. People should know what was done, where it's done. That is where changes amount a lot. As-built is permanent record for purpose of maintenance, for purpose of upkeep, and for purpose to know about items or services. Services, you may say routes, where do they move to, and it's easy to trace very comfortably, and for that purpose we can say as-built. Complete these terms: quality inspection request forms, then NCR non-conformance report, red line documents, as-built procedures, and we'll go through all this sooner in this way, and that's an important point you have to consider. And currently I'll take leave now. Thank you very much. We'll come back to again and see how to do it, how to do that, because we have to review every time, and this is very specific, practical document, practical talk I'm trying to deliver based on my experience and also from collection of various informations we have in the of. So with that I can say it's not end, it's not beginning as well. It's something, just a piece talk, you can say piece if talk in between some parts, part talk it is. And it matters a lot. We have to be realistic about this. And that means, about that. Thank you very much.